The screen fades to black. Silence engulfs the room. Slowly the words emerge, glowing faintly, almost whispering their truth. In every shadow, there is light waiting to be discovered. The words linger as the screen darkens again, and then a voice, calm yet evocative, cuts through the quiet. Why do good people commit unthinkable acts? How does a soul, once radiant with innocence, descend into darkness? These questions are not mere curiosities, they are mirrors, reflecting our own potential for both light and shadow. This is the Lucifer Effect, a concept that speaks not only to the psychology of human behavior, but also to the spirituality that underpins our existence. It is here, in this delicate balance between the seen and the unseen, that our story begins. Imagine a soul standing at the crossroads. On one side, a path bathed in light, paved with love, empathy, and connection. On the other, a shadowed trail, alluring yet treacherous, beckoning with whispers of power and absolution from pain. This is the moment, the tipping point, where choices are made and destinies are forged. But is it the soul alone that chooses? Or is it the weight of unseen forces, systemic pressures, and unhealed wounds that steer us toward the abyss? In exploring these depths, we uncover more than just human frailty. We unearth the spiritual lessons hidden within. Each act of darkness carries within it a seed of awakening, a call to return to the light. But first, we must understand how the descent begins, how the shadows take hold, and how we, as individuals and as a collective, can break free. The stage is set. Shadows flicker at the edges of our vision, and the story unfolds. In the labyrinth of human behavior, the Lucifer Effect serves as more than a psychological phenomenon. It's a mirror reflecting the spiritual journey of understanding and integrating our inner shadows. Social psychology explains how situational pressures and systemic forces can mold our actions, but spirituality delves deeper, illuminating the universal duality of light and shadow within us all. Carl Jung spoke of the shadow self, the parts of us we deny or suppress. These unacknowledged aspects, when left unintegrated, emerge in ways that can distort our actions and decisions. From a spiritual lens, the shadow isn't something to be feared or judged. Instead, it is a vital part of our wholeness, an invitation to heal and transform. Consider this. Judgment creates division, both within and outside ourselves. To judge another for their darkness is to deny our shared humanity, our shared potential for both grace and error. The path of spiritual growth teaches us that to accept, truly accept, our shadow is to reclaim our light. It is through this acceptance that healing begins, dissolving patterns that have perpetuated across generations. This is not about excusing harmful behavior, but about understanding it. Every act of darkness carries with it a story, a wound, a belief. When we choose not to judge but to explore, we uncover the threads that bind us to those behaviors and begin to unravel them. This act of introspection isn't just for ourselves, but for the lineage we carry and the collective consciousness we share. And so, the journey deepens. With each step into our own depths, we illuminate the shadows, not to banish them, but to bring them into balance. For it is in this delicate dance between psychology and spirituality that we find the tools to break free from cycles of pain and evolve into the fullness of who we are meant to be. The environment we inhabit holds immense power over our behavior. This truth was starkly revealed in the Stanford prison experiment led by Dr. Philip Zimbardo. Ordinary college students, assigned roles as guards and prisoners, quickly succumbed to the dynamics of power and submission. The guards, enveloped in the authority of their roles, inflicted cruelty on their peers, while the prisoners, stripped of individuality, internalized the oppression. What began as a simulation spiraled into a chilling display of how external conditions can distort our moral compass. Similarly, Stanley Milgram's experiments on obedience showcased how individuals, when directed by an authoritative figure, would act against their moral convictions, even to the point of causing harm. These studies highlight a profound psychological truth. Our actions are not just shaped by who we are, but by the systems and environments that surround us. From a spiritual perspective, such environments don't just disconnect us from each other. They sever our connection to the divine essence within. Toxic settings cloud our awareness, making it harder to discern the whisper of our higher selves. Yet, it is in recognizing this disconnection that we are called to rise, to seek environments and practices that nurture our soul's light. The shadows of these studies are not merely warnings, but invitations. Invitations to cultivate spaces where integrity thrives, where the human spirit remains tethered to its divine core. As we turn the page, the interplay of individual choice and systemic influence unfolds further, illuminating paths of both descent and redemption. What turns ordinary people into unrecognizable versions of themselves? The answer lies not in a single moment, but in a series of shifts that often go unnoticed. Dehumanization. When we stop seeing others as individuals, we disconnect from their humanity, and in turn, from our own. It's not just about how we treat others, it reflects how distant we are from the divine spark within. Each act of dehumanization dulls the thread of empathy that ties us together, creating an emotional void where understanding should thrive. Blind obedience. Following orders without question might feel safe, even virtuous, in the moment. But when we ignore the inner voice that whispers what's right, we risk betraying ourselves. Obedience, without the balance of discernment, becomes a dangerous path, one where we lose touch with our spiritual intuition and inherent moral compass. The crowd effect. Being part of a group can make us feel anonymous, invisible. It's tempting to surrender our accountability, thinking our actions are lost in the collective. But this anonymity can erode our individuality and our sense of truth. Staying anchored in our essence requires mindfulness, even when the pull of the crowd feels irresistible. Gradual erosion. Darkness doesn't arrive as a storm, it creeps in like a shadow at dusk. Each small compromise leads to the next, until we're far from where we started. But just as these small choices pull us toward the shadows, small moments of awareness can pull us back to the light. Daily practices, meditation, self-reflection, become our compass, ensuring we remain aligned with who we truly are. Each of these forces, dehumanization, obedience, the crowd effect, and gradual erosion, has the power to shape us, yet they also hold the potential to teach us. When we pause, reflect, and reclaim our choices, we transform not just our actions, but our very essence. The journey of understanding these dynamics is not just about avoiding the shadows, but learning to walk through them with clarity and purpose. When darkness looms and the weight of external forces presses heavy on the soul, it is often the simplest spiritual tools that become our most profound lifelines. These practices remind us who we are beyond the chaos, anchoring us in light even when shadows surround us. Meditation. In stillness, we reconnect with our essence. Meditation is not about escaping the world, but meeting it with clarity. Each breath becomes a reminder that within us lies an unshakable center, a place where external influences cannot reach. Journaling. Writing offers a mirror to the soul. Through the act of putting thoughts onto paper, we unravel the knots of confusion, bringing hidden fears and desires into the light. Journaling becomes a sacred dialogue between our conscious and unconscious selves. Prayer and intention setting. Prayer aligns us with the divine, not as an act of asking, but as a moment of connection. Setting intentions daily grounds us in purpose, reminding us of the path we choose to walk. Self-inquiry questions like, "What am I feeling?" and "Why did I act this way?" open doors to understanding. This practice is less about judgment and more about curiosity, a compassionate exploration of our inner world. Community and support systems. Surrounding ourselves with those who uplift us creates a buffer against negativity. Community isn't just about being with others. It's about being seen, heard, and held in a space of mutual growth. Non-judgment and shadow acceptance. One of the most profound tools is learning to embrace, not deny, our shadows. Pretending our darker impulses don't exist only strengthens their grip, causing them to emerge when we least expect it. Acceptance doesn't mean surrendering to negativity. It means seeing our shadows with compassion, understanding their origins, and integrating them as part of our wholeness. This process of self-love and honesty is the foundation for genuine healing and transformation. Each of these tools acts as a beacon, guiding us back to ourselves when the external world tries to pull us away. They are not quick fixes, but lifelong companions, cultivating resilience and ensuring that, no matter how strong the storm, we remain rooted in light. In the interplay of light and shadow, the Lucifer Effect offers profound spiritual insights. It teaches us that recognizing and integrating our shadows is not a sign of weakness, but a path to wholeness. These hidden aspects of ourselves, when left unexamined, can dominate our actions and perceptions. Yet, when we face them with courage and compassion, they transform from sources of inner conflict into bridges of understanding and growth. Choosing the light in challenging environments is an act of spiritual resilience. It means aligning with our higher self even when circumstances tempt us toward compromise. This choice is not always grand or dramatic. Often, it is the quiet decision to speak truth, to act with integrity, or to offer kindness where it is unexpected. Such moments anchor us in our divinity, reminding us of our capacity to transcend the circumstances around us. Beyond individual transformation, the Lucifer Effect calls us to reimagine the systems we inhabit. Creating environments rooted in collective responsibility and empathy ensures that our shared spaces reflect the values of compassion and accountability. When we cultivate empathy and foster connection, we break cycles of harm, replacing them with opportunities for collective healing and evolution. The Lucifer Effect is more than a cautionary tale about the dangers of external influence. It is a mirror reflecting the boundless potential for spiritual awakening and growth. Each shadow it reveals carries an invitation to deepen our understanding, to align more fully with our higher values, and to embrace the wholeness of our being. The journey through the shadow is not a descent into despair, but a pathway toward illumination. This transformation is deeply personal, yet profoundly universal. As we confront our inner darkness and choose to walk in the light, we contribute to the healing of our collective consciousness. Our willingness to grow becomes a legacy, a beacon for others navigating their own paths. In the end, the Lucifer Effect is a reminder that the most profound transformations begin within. As you reflect on your own journey, may you find the courage to face your shadows, the strength to choose your light, and the wisdom to align with the values that call your soul home.